Nothing fancy, nothing fake, nothing wasted and no deal to make. What you need is what you want to take, and what you take, you use. I'm just looking for that sweet spot
Drill a hole,
where I
tap
can
it.
live the way that
Here's where you start down here
I
with 74. There's a tag.
I'll be waiting for you.
Nestled in the rolling hills of northeast Pennsylvania is Urbanski Farms. In late winter, while most farms slumber, Urbanski Farms begins to stir with life. When temperatures begin to climb above freezing, it's time to tap the trees. Family patriarch Carl helps direct the troops.
Once you start tapping, then you got one guy, Eddie, is first going through, he drills a hole, then a two-man crew goes behind him, clean the holes out. In cold weather, the lines may be a little bit short, so they have to stretch them a little bit, and then they put them in and tap them in with a hammer a little bit.
Plastic lines are strung between the hundreds of maple trees in the sugar bush. Buckets get hung, tap holes drilled. The ground is often snow-covered, sometimes muddy and sloppy. The work is always tedious, but it's truly a labor of love. Everyone involved knows the payoff, Pennsylvania pure maple syrup, and it's oh so sweet.
And you're only about 1.5 inches just up to the width of the bit, and you want a slight angle downward from the tree to allow it to drip out. Because you're just piercing the tap line, which is just inside the bark. That's the growing part of the tree. Get in any deeper, and the sap doesn't flow in that section of the tree. It's pointless.
Is that sap already flowing now?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gushing. This is perfect weather right now for flow. We can drop a little.
Sweet, dark amber maple syrup starts out as crystal clear maple sap. And when the sap runs, it's time to collect. Urbanski Farms remains a small family operation, so you won't see vacuum pumps or tanker trucks. At Urbanski Farms, it's all about gravity, the volunteer labor of family and friends, and a time-honored and trusted farm-all tractor. From tree to bucket, from bucket to tractor, all that sap eventually makes its way to the sap house, where it's pumped into a 200-gallon tank above the wood-fired evaporator. Inside the evaporator, water is boiled off, sugars are caramelized, and the specific gravity of the liquid increases. When sugar solids reach 66%, the finished product is drawn off. During the weeks when sap flow is at its peak, usually in mid-March, firewood and sap are consumed at a frenzied pace. Urbanski Farms has been producing maple syrup since 1976, when Ed tapped 13 trees and cooked over an open fire. Today, some 750 taps are placed, and, depending on the weather of the 6 to 7 week season, total production can range from 40 to 70 gallons of syrup.
Make sure it's the correct density.
Final filtering and bottling takes place in the farmhouse kitchen, under the watchful eye of farm manager Ed Urbanski. Once cooled and sealed, the last step is to determine the syrup's grade. It is then labeled and ready for the public.
Vermont Fancy is the lightest. Then you have Vermont, or this is the same as the US, Vermont Medium Amber, Dark Amber, and then a Grade B. Then your sample one, which is your syrup, goes in between here, and you do a comparative. A little bit of light, and you'll say, is it darker, is it in between these two? And as long as it's not as dark as that, it can be graded as that.
Oh, I think of you often, I think of you. Oh, I think of you often.
That is Dark Amber.
At Urbanski Farms, making maple syrup is truly a labor of love, with an emphasis on the word labor. On weekends, when the sap is flowing, when the buckets are full, and when the evaporator fire burns nonstop through the night, the farm is a special place to be. Steam and sweet aromas fill the air, along with music and the laughter and fellowship of family and friends.